the proper metaverse that we've been promised.
True. Very true.
Oh yeah.
It's exciting times.
Awesome. Well, I mean, look,
Thank you
man,
very
I'm
much.
I'm ready to get started whenever you guys are. I'm not sure if you guys have a list of questions for me that you want me to answer, or you want to just start bringing people up from your community. But I'll let you guys lead this, and I'm here to answer any questions that people have.
Yeah, for sure. Pedro, you want to do a little introduction or?
Yeah. Well, I guess we can start off. I know there's a lot of new people in here that came over from Thor, so we'll have the team introduce each other real quick. My name is Pedro. Obviously, I've been huge on Thor Financial since they launched. Super bullish. Kind of the reasoning why we have the Asgardian Bulls here, of course. Um, yeah, I kind of started with this idea because whenever prior to starting the Asgardian Bulls Club idea, one of the big things I was trying to accomplish with nodes in general, node projects, was trying to set up my family and back in Mexico with a little bit of passive income to help them out after all the issues with COVID. So uh, one day I was kind of compounding and trying to think of based on the compounding schedule when I might be able to help them out, and it kind of clicked. Like we can create a project like this and help many more people instead of just a handful. So yeah, that's kind of what sparked the whole idea. But I won't deviate too much. I'm already kind of going into the project talk. Um, but yeah, basically background on me. I'm a project engineer I work in the oil and gas industry. Originally from Mexico. Married, have a son right now. So that's a quick overview on me. I'll let the rest of the guys a quick introduction as well.
Okay, well, I'll start next. My name is Brandon. I'm head of partnerships, and I'm the marketing director for Asgardian Bull Club. Um, I'm down here in Florida working on my bachelor's for business administration, and I'm single, in a single life in Florida, living it up, and trying to build something special here.
For sure, I can go next. What's up, guys? My name is Ricardo. I am the creative director, and I oversee some of the creative content for the project. I'm also a mechanical engineer, and I work in the steel manufacturing industry.
And your voice is gone today.
Yeah, we won't
Yeah,
make you talk too much today.
I've been
All
sick
good,
for a
Nick.
whole week.
So if you guys don't know, we do have a channel in the Discord, Meet the Team, where we've gone a little more in depth about our backgrounds, but I'll briefly go over mine. So I'm a software engineer. I have a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. I've been working with blockchain, uh, mainly Ethereum. I switched over to Avalanche at the beginning of this year. Um, I'm the lead developer for our website and our contracts. Um, Married. I have two girls. They keep me busy. But that's all for me.
Cool, cool. I mean, do you guys want to get started on questions here, specific for Thor, or I'm not sure how you guys want to handle this, but me, I'm flexible. I'm happy to do it however you guys want to do it.
Yeah, I'll start with some questions on Thor, just to kick us off, and then we can move into the project one. So kind of aligned with Asgardian Bulls, I think the Gods of Asgard has teased a little bit about being able to introduce their own skins or skins from existing projects. I was wondering if you could elaborate on that, because obviously we would like to be able to have some bulls running around playing that game.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that we've really modeled off a lot of the free to play battle royale games out there. I mean, when you have free to play games like Fortnite that make billions of dollars, the real question is not only having a very cool game world, an open game world, and an addicting gameplay loop, but also being able to customize your individual characters with different customizational abilities. And so those are obviously going to take the form of NFTs, and those NFTs are going to be implemented into the game world themselves. And we have a lot of plans offering both cosmetic and non-cosmetic NFTs, and we'd be more than happy to talk to the Asgardian Bulls and see whether or not we could incorporate some of your art into the Play to Earn Gods of Asgard game as a whole.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And I like the skins aspect because it doesn't give you an advantage in the game, which kind of leads me into my next question. Some of these play to earn games out there, I'll give a specific example. So with Gala Games, they have a Town Star game. It's really their most fleshed out game so far. It's kind of pay to win to some extent. You can pay to play slower or be free. But are there any aspects of Gods of Asgard that will give you an advantage if you pay, or is it more
No, no,
aesthetic based?
we really want to focus more on the cosmetic side of things and have a fair playing field for everybody. I think when we see projects and we see games that introduce a lot of play to win mechanics, it's fantastic for the people that can afford it. But what it does is it alienates a lot of the regular people playing that game. And what we want to do is we want to have a game that appeals to a wide crowd, especially a crowd that's not familiar with DeFi as a service or nodes as a service space. We want to appeal to people outside of the pre-established space for nodes. And I think one of the major ways that we're going to do that is offering a fun, fair level playing field game for everybody to involve, and then people can of course customize their characters how they see fit.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. I know some people try to skirt around that with scholarships and saying you can get uh, these nice expensive NFTs if you give back some of the revenue from you winning. Do you guys have any plans for scholarship programs, or would that not even make sense in the game?
We do have some plans for both loaning out in scholarship programs as well as of course breeding and other mechanics like that. We'll be going into more detail as we get closer to release, though.
Awesome. I'm sure someone else has questions on the team about Thor. Hand it off to you guys.
So, Loki, I guess I know you've been asked this question many times.
Oh, please don't
So
say
you
it's
don't have
no.
to go into it.
Please don't say it's no cap. I'm haunted by this question.
No node cap. Just
Okay.
curious that obviously since we have an NFT project, right?
Mhm.
It would be ridiculous for me not to ask how the NFT marketplace is going, and I guess any updates that you might have on that.
It's going well. I mean, what we're doing right now is we're really just building up the framework of a marketplace. I do have some experience with my experience over at Hive, being a founder of Hive in the Hexagon marketplace, on realistically how difficult it is to develop a full-fledged marketplace, especially having a marketplace that's not only aesthetically pleasing, but it has enough features that people are going to want to utilize that marketplace on a regular basis. So we're still definitely quite a bit out from the marketplace going live, or even having things to show about the marketplace. There's a lot of foundational work and framework work that needs to be done. Having said that, we're making some very good progress on it, and we're certainly looking to keep ourselves to the timeline that we've been setting internally. And as more information comes out, we will be starting that formal application process where NFT projects like yourself can apply to be listed and have your collection featured on our marketplace.
Gotcha. That's exciting. Definitely looking forward to the launch of that.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of the fundamental aspects of our larger ecosystem play as a whole. I think it's become very clear in the node industry that the only way to really promote a sustainable structure is to simultaneously limit the max emissions, and that has to happen through nodes becoming NFTs and instituting a max node cap. But in addition, you need to have utility behind that reward token to give people justifiable reasons to buy that token, especially when there are no more nodes being created. So that's the reason it's extremely important to us to really prioritize and focus a robust utility ecosystem behind our native token. That way, it still provides that immense amount of buying pressure, and ideally buying pressure that expands over time, while simultaneously controlling the emissions and creating a truly sustainable model that relies 0% on Ponzi-nomics.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a lot of thought put into it for sure.
Well, I mean, here and this is something that I'm still waiting for people to really get. because this is something that I've been holding out in the background for a little while here. But when our protocol, right, has two different mechanisms to increase the price. And that is especially when we have a marketplace, operating buybacks through buying back of the native token to replenish the reward pools. But once you have a marketplace and a nodes that are NFTs, what this protocol could also do, hypothetically speaking, of course, would be to sweep the floor of all the nodes being listed on the marketplace and have a reduction in emissions over time, creating the very first deflationary node protocol in history.
Yeah, that's a good way to use the funds for sure.
So I'm hoping people are starting to really get on why a node marketplace and a node cap is actually incredibly bullish for the ecosystem as a whole.
Yeah, I
So
think
what would
that
you do with
idea.
the?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what would you do at that point with buying the floor on the nodes? What would you do with those
We
nodes?
would take those nodes out of circulation, so our
Take them
emissions
out.
over time gradually decrease rather than increase.
Yeah, for sure.
That
Go ahead,
sounds so much
Percy.
better than a buyback. It's a buyback that is
Yeah.
effective.
Yeah, it's a buyback that has long-term effects. And so
Right.
instead of having a protocol that's consistently either increasing or keeping a static amount of tokens being emitted on a daily basis through the reward systems, we have a gradual decrease in the reward systems as the protocol's ability to keep sweeping out the floor and buying back our own nodes, creates a much better environment for healthy price action for the token. And then, of course, factoring in the additional utilities around the ecosystem for the native token. I'm imagining you guys can really see how this would, expand the ecosystem and expand the value per Thor token exponentially.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
It's
how's
pretty
the
exciting. Looking. I was just gonna say, really excited to actually see that come into play and see what effect that'll have.
Hmm.
how's the Union of Transparency going? We're obviously very interested in when we can submit an application. I don't know if you can give us any more details.
It's going very well. Once again, when I first came up with the unit of transparency, it was a real tertiary idea of just protocols that I had a direct involvement in. And over time, and as we've expanded out the board of advisors, factoring in a lot of people from traditional finance, from people who own publicly traded corporations, people from the regulatory side, people from the copywriter side, people from the legal side. The scope and the scale of what the Union of Transparency is attempting to do in DeFi is expanded exponentially. And so that's required us to have a lot of due diligence and framework, a foundational level of work that needs to go in, which means obviously it's taking a little bit for this to come out to the public. As you can imagine, with you know we have one chance to realistically launch. And from our perspective, we don't want to launch without having a real robust framework in place and to have something that's really going to, affect DeFi as a whole. And so, we're taking our sweet time to make sure that we have all of our systems in place, especially the educational side of things as well in place. Just to make sure that we utilize our one opportunity to launch to the public, and we're fully robust. So applications will be going out, be made public as soon as we launch, and we will be more than happy for you guys to go through the application process at that time.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
we're definitely looking forward to that. Yeah. So Loki, I guess since we have you here, I don't know if you have any questions regarding our project. I know you're pretty familiar at this point with these node giveaway NFT projects, but I don't know if you have anything specific for us and what we're trying to do different.
I don't, but you know what? One of my major things about this entire industry right now is, the Node
Hmm.
NFT giveaway projects have gone a lot like the Node forks, right? Where we start to see a real oversaturation of this market, and I think it would be very interesting for me to know what kind of new innovations that you're looking to bring to the market. Something that differentiates the Asgardian bulls from say a Node bears or strong dragons or about the million of the other NFT node projects out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess to give you a little bit more details on that, I call it a bit of a fun fact just because, I feel like we didn't really have a lot of eyes on our project. So many people find our project and they're like, oh man, another Node NFT that just popped up. They just forked whatever other project, but yeah, we actually this idea for the Asgardian Bulls kind of actually started before even Node Bears launched. Um, I didn't know about it, but I actually had a quick, conversation in DMs with the founder of Node Bears when I was looking into all the initial details and where to look for things for NFT projects, because he had been posting he was working on an NFT project himself. Um, so yeah, some of the inspiration that that made this possible for me was actually time frogs, and I actually make it I try to make it very clear that we didn't come because of Node Bears. We were kind of in the process before that, but we didn't want to rush out to the market. We didn't want to make this a project that a money grab. I'll just say it. We didn't want to make this a money grab. We wanted to make something that was actually sustainable and that was actually going to help the community, and hopefully make a positive impact in more lives, right? Um, so yeah, I guess to go into more details on what makes us different specifically from others, I feel like a lot of the Node project or Node NFT projects, um, they give out very few rewards. We see some that reward maybe 7 people a week, some that are just going to reward like 2 or 3 people a week, and that's great. They give out some pretty large rewards, but the whole idea that sparked the Asgardian Bulls was making a difference in a larger percentage of people and the community. So our goal is to actually give one NFT to each winner. That way that gives us the opportunity to reach a larger percentage of holders, a larger percentage of the community. And for some it might not seem much just receiving one node, but over time it does add up. We'll be compounding, increasing the winners that way as well. And I mean, for some, like, I'll go back to the example with me wanting to help my family in Mexico. You know, being able to, if they were to create just one node, one new form of passive income, that's a big change for some people. So that's kind of been the inspiration behind this, and we've tried to stay true and try to actually stick to the vision of helping more people.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, I mean, if your team here is relatively done with your questions, it might be a good idea to bring up some audience questions.
Yeah. You
Yeah, it looks like we have a couple people requesting to speak. If we want to just start firing away at the questions, you want to start pulling people up?
Yeah. Well, let's bring KG up here so he can actually introduce himself real quick before we get started. You having some mic issues, KG?
Can you guys?
Oh, you break it up like crazy.
Yeah, it's really bad. I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, that's no good, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
might
bring
need to
some.
yeah, I put him on mute and just start bringing up some people from the community here.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and bring in a THOR writer.
Hi there.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, so thanks for coming together today. Thanks, Colin.
No
It's always a
worries.
good sign when you're here, Colin. Go Canada. Okay, so my thing is beyond the skins, as far as a connection between Asgardian Bulls and THOR. As far as interoperability, has Asgardian's Bulls thought about like as far as Asgardian Bulls entering the game, the the Thor game. Is there software that enables a membership for other NFTs to be able to enter Thor's ecosystem, maintaining their own format?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I mean,
I am
I don't
on
know.
site at my 9 to
You might just want to
5
put them on mute.
today.
Okay. Yeah.
They don't
You know,
love
the best way,
allowing
who's talking?
Discord streaming. Uh, um,
There's someone talking over. I'm not
but
sure. All right. Yeah. So, the main mechanism in which all of these NFT projects are going to be able to enter into the Thor ecosystem is primarily going to be through our marketplace. Obviously, we're more than happy to work on the play to earn game, especially, when we're talking about cosmetic additions. We'd be more than happy to, discuss with other high quality NFT projects, especially projects that align with our fundamental visions of being, honest, transparent, and ethical, which are something that's relatively rare within this industry, and it's something that we're trying to build out this culture and progress this industry and evolve this industry away from away from the wild west crap that we've seen historically. Um, so I have constantly open dialogues with many different projects, a lot of different NFT drops that are looking to work in conjunction with Thor. Most of them are looking to utilize the large community that we have being built out, and so what we can do is we can really leverage that to make sure that any projects that are looking to enter into the Thor ecosystem have to maintain a certain level of quality and make sure that they possess value to our overall community as a whole, whether that's through cosmetic additions, whether that's something to do with our metaverse that we're building out on the sandbox, or whether or not that's something to have a feature collection on our marketplace. There's a few different options for other projects to participate within the Thor ecosystem.
Love that. Thanks, Colin.
I always love your questions there, Thor Rider. Cool. So if you want to bring up the next person,
I'm gonna bring Cove up here and I'll send.
Hey guys.
Hey, how are you, Mr. Robot?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey Colin, it's your resident doodler if you recognize the name.
Hey,
Good to say hi. My question is when Moon Tax, and my actual question is in regards to the game. I'm not like I've done a ton of gaming in my life, like a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of World of Warcraft, like you name it, but I never got into Fortnite. So I'm not like I was wondering if you can speak to the actual like gameplay mechanics of a battle royale, like what you're shooting for. Of like can you just play it endlessly? Is there like if you lose you're knocked out for like an hour or so, or like I don't know much about how that works.
Well,
So
at launch, we're going to be launching with a player versus a PVE mechanics. So it's going to be players versus AI enemies. And so what we're really doing is we're increasing the level of AI within the enemies to make sure it's actually fun and challenging for people. But the cool thing about a battle royale is you can kind of treat it as like a MMO with you have one life, and when you lose that one life, you restart and you have to restart from scratch. So that's essentially what happens when you're dealing with a battle royale type concept. But what we're looking to do very quickly, in addition to, of course, the player versus environment aspect, we will be incorporating player versus player, which is going to be a big open game world that's going to have a lot of different players playing simultaneously and all battling to be that last person standing. That, in addition, of course, to our VR support, as well as some future updates that we have planned. We're very excited about the longevity as well as the replayability of Gods of Asgard.
awesome, cool. Yeah, I really look forward to playing it. Like I love the art style. It's very the Wind Waker like art style, like from Legend of Zelda, and it gives also like Valheim vibes, which was like a huge hit of a game. So like I'm definitely looking forward to
we
trying it out.
we wanted to make something that was not like that classic play to earn that's like this 2D kind of low effort kind of game. From our perspective, the real problem with the whole play to earn space right now is that none of the games are really fun, and the reason that people play them is to play to earn that in-game native inflationary currency. So of course, that's something that we're looking to enter in as well. But simultaneously, we think it's far more important for us to really focus on the gameplay and actually make it a fun gameplay and addicting gameplay loop experience. And then have that in addition to the play to earn elements is where we think we have a home run.
Absolutely, yeah, because like that's been my reason for staying out of like the PTE so far. Because whenever I take a look at like the gameplay videos or anything, I'm just like, this looks so unfun, and I just don't even bother. So it takes more than just like being paid to play. It takes like good gameplay, a fun game, um,
Game
and
first, play to earn second. That's the
yeah,
mentality that we're coming in here with, and that's the reason I think we're gonna have a runaway success.
I certainly hope so, and I can't wait to play. Thank you so much, Colin.
You're welcome, brother.
Yeah, I'll just add, I definitely agree with you on that, Colin, about the game first and then play to earn after. I think that's gonna be a huge win there.
Yeah, I mean it's something that I feel like a lot of these other play to earn games have really missed out. It's almost like when you saw the first generation of NFTs, which were essentially just art, and then you
Mhm.
started to see utility driven NFTs being added in as like the evolution of that concept. That's the same way that I feel about Gods of Asgard for the play to earn side of Thor. Where historically speaking, all of these initial play to earn games really focused on the mechanics of the play to earn and having as a money making opportunity for people, which is fine. But if you're going to do that, you simultaneously need to have a game that's going to maintain a player base and make people want to play match after match after match. And that's exactly what we focused on, and that's the reason we really chose the genre that we're entering into. We think the battle royale side of things have a lot of replayability, and that's why we think that it's going to be a huge success.
Yeah, definitely.
Bring innovation to a space that has needs some innovation at this point, in our opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree. Hey, Thirsty, I don't know if you can go through the AMA questions and see. Let's get some of the questions answered in there. I don't have anybody trying to come up stage right now, so we'll hit those up.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. So,
Oh,
go ahead.
Cove, if you wanna, did you
I
have
was just
something?
gonna mention, yeah, like like as an ex WoW player, like I have I'm in other discords with all my former guildmates, and it's like a good like 50, 100 people, who are like experiencing like a terrible gaming drought right now. Like so,
Mhm.
everyone's looking for like just something fun to play, and like if you guys really nail it with like the PTE and the awesome game play, yeah, I'm gonna be pulling in like a whole lot of people into
Well,
into
I
that.
mean,
So
that's another huge perk from our perspective of introducing a larger ecosystem play to the traditional DeFi as a service, nodes as a service space. Because what that does is that introduces a bunch of people who are not familiar with DeFi necessarily, and also especially people who are not familiar with the node ecosystem within DeFi, the niche within the niche. We think that this is a way to appeal to a much wider audience and create a lot of buying pressure for the Thor token, completely independent of new nodes being created. So that's just a net benefit to both our holders as well as the game players as a whole.
awesome.
All right, Thirsty, I guess you can go ahead with some of the
Yeah,
questions. Oh, sorry,
I see someone
Scott
requested.
C. Yeah, we have Scott C. come up here.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Oh,
Yeah, we can hear you. Read 'em.
hey Colin, I've been with Thor for several months now. I'm new to the P2E environment. What is the barrier to entry of the game? Do you have to buy an NFT? Do you have to pay to download the game? I
So
see several whitelist
you,
opportunities on Thor.
yeah,
Just curious about this.
you're going to be able to utilize your in-game NFTs, and there is going to be a minting process, so where you can mint generation 0 NFTs for the game themselves, and those are essentially your playable characters. And then you're going to be able to utilize a few different features. Whether or not you want to play the game, you can always loan out your NFTs to other people playing the game, and there's going to be some other gambling features that are going to be incorporated in as well. So what our goal here for the play to earn game is to make it as widely available and as easy to get involved in it, whether or not you're a gamer, whether or not you have a PC, and whether or not you have a VR system.
So the whitelists that have been going on, I know we've given out a few.
You're breaking up like crazy, brother. Can't hear you.
Fine. Can you hear me any better?
A little bit. Go ahead.
So for the whitelist, is that a whitelist for the opportunity to mint, or is that actually an NFT that allows you to play?
It's a whitelist is to have that opportunity to be on the initial mint for a set price. Whitelists get a discount on the minting price. It's the same
Yeah.
thing for any other whitelist for any other project.
Great. Thanks.
What?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Scott.
All right, thanks, Scott. All right, Thirsty, I guess we'll hit up some of the questions in the chat.
Yeah, we can get through some of these, and if you want to request to speak, go ahead, and we'll get you after we go through some of these AMA text questions. So the first one, when does the website launch?
When does the website launch? What for?
Oh, is that?
Oh, so these are questions for the Asgardian Bulls.
Oh, I'm sorry. I will shut up.
Okay. No, you're good, Colin. Yeah, actually, we just launched the website before the AMA started. Just kind of waiting for a few things to load on there, but it should be in our official links now. So if anybody wants to go check it out.
That was an easy one. I guess, what's the mint price? I know some of these questions already answered, but for those that didn't go through the FAQ or the whitelist or the white paper yet.
Yeah, so the mint price for us for whitelist, it'll be 0.8 AVAX, and for the public, it's gonna be 1 AVAX. And we'll open up the whitelist mint on the 25th at noon Central Standard Time, and public will be on the 26th at noon as well. But you'll be able to still mint for your whitelist price even once public is open, just to honor those whitelist members' prices.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. So the contract is currently being tested. Once it's deployed on the website, you'll be able to check how many whitelist spots you have, along with some other details, so you can make sure you're where you're expected before we open up the mint.
I'm gonna bring in one of the guys here that's requested to speak, and then we'll kind of alternate a bit there. Bring up Oxy C Odin.
How to come off mute there?
Hey Oxy. Yeah. All right. I'll bring up Crypt Keeper. I'm gonna mute myself, guys, because we have some guys cutting the lawn at the neighbor's house, so I don't want to make too much noise.
All right, go ahead, Crypt Keeper.
All right, so I guess we'll try Lazy Dog, and if see if the Oxy or Crypt Keeper can figure out their mic, and if not, we'll move to the text questions after Lazy Dog.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, I can hear you.
Great. I'm one of the senior members in the world of this thing, and so I'm way struggling to understand how all this stuff fits together and works together. But I joined Thor quite a while ago, and I love it. I think it has just incredible future for years, if not decades to come. So I saw the invitation this morning to Asgardians, and as you can tell, I joined. I'm understanding it's kind of going to be a joint thing, but directly to the Bulls program, you're talking about the white list, and I read the white paper, and I saw the legendary NFTs and so forth. For someone that is like on third grade level for this, not on any level like you young guys, this is just natural. Can you kind of explain a little more on a fourth grade level how the NFTs and legendaries and the white lists are going to occur and happen?
Yeah, so basically for the whitelist, it's not only allowing you to mint or purchase your NFT earlier and go ahead and you don't have to go in rushing ahead of people, and you get it at a discount. The legendary NFTs that we're creating, it's only going to be a handful, and essentially we wanted to kind of do this as a bit of an incentive to help build people wanting to search for these NFTs, and even though we are targeting a larger percentage of the community, we wanted to throw a bit of a twist in there compared to all the other projects, and create these couple NFTs that essentially guarantee you a reward weekly. So holding one of these NFTs will essentially work as a passive income stream, where each week you'll receive a reward for that NFT.
Okay, so how does one get whitelisted? Is the legendaries what's happening on the 25th?
They are going to be distributed in the supply, so it'll it'll be at a, I guess, at a random. Everybody has an equal chance essentially of minting one of these legendary NFTs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
and
where and how do you, or might you be able to whitelist?
for the whitelist, we have if you check in our channel, we have our FAQ channel that goes into a bit of detail on how you can get whitelist. But we do offer um, additional advanced games to throughout the day and week, to give members an opportunity to win a whitelist. But kind of in honor of the AMA today with Loki here, kind of wanted to celebrate and give all of the new Asgardians here an opportunity to win a whitelist. So we'll be creating for um, a giveaway for the Discord for a few whitelist spots, and we'll also be kind of going over the members that were active and participated in the AMA, and potentially hand out some whitelists there as well.
Great,
So
thank you for
since
your
you're
time.
up here, yeah, so since you're up here, maybe you'll be one of those whitelists for participating.
Well, I hope so, and thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
no problem. You have a great day.
Thanks.
All right, Crypt Keeper. I don't know if you're good now with the mic.
Nope, still can't hear
Yeah, I
him.
can't hear you. Yeah, try to disconnect and come back up here. See if that fixes it. In the meantime, I'll bring up Alt Guy.
Hello. Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, how are you?
Hey, I'm nice. Thanks. I have two quick questions for brother Colin.
Yeah. Hit me.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm in the tour like for months, a couple of months already. So I'm pretty well familiar with all the things you do, like investment, play to earn, all the stuff. What's coming out. So first question is. What I see with a lot of node projects and their treasury, it's kind of mostly sitting out, and protocols are not well skilled for handling that treasury and making a good investment. What I like about THOR is like you did like 9 or 10 investments. It's really nice organized, and I like all the investments personally.
I
Um,
appreciate that. I'm gonna be honest though. I want us to be moving at a faster, expedited rate of us
yeah.
investing the treasury fully. Unfortunately, the last month or so, especially with the Putin Ukraine stuff, it's been so inconsistent on the market. It's been very difficult to gauge. So that's the reason for us. We've developed a lot more in the way of DeFi strategists and experts to help us out. Professional TA people as well as professional research analysts to really do a lot of due diligence and find us opportune moments to invest in. That's also why we picked up our quant holdings literally a couple days ago. And since then, it's proving right now to be a very good investment. We're seeing some fantastic price appreciation on quant, and we got in just before that price appreciation. So I think that's really demonstrating our ability to pick some really good investments from the help of our DeFi strategists.
Yeah, the DeFi strategies part is the part I really like. I think it's a great move to have dedicated people to do that, because it's impossible for the developers and you or someone else in the team to handle that part also. And the DeFi is really complex today. So actually, my question is, since we will have now node fees, and the treasury will like grow exponential, let's say, and the pressure for that investment will like kind of increase. Like how you plan to handle that? How you plan to invest so like that we don't came into the situation that the larger part of the investment is sitting. Like, will you introduce more DeFi strategies, or like it will be pretty nice sum of money in that treasury? Like,
Yeah,
how
I
you
mean,
plan
you
to
know,
speed out that
the
part?
treasury, the treasury helps also pay for massive innovations within the ecosystem as a whole. So things like the play to earn game, things like the marketplace, these are being funded primarily, especially because since we turned off all protocol sales through treasury usage. But what we're also looking to do as the treasury grows, especially with the consistent maintenance fees that come in, our goal here is to have more regular, consistent treasury investments and larger volumes in being invested in every round. Obviously that's contingent to market conditions as well as making sure that we have a very clear path of profitability from these investments. And that's due to our DeFi strategists. We have multiple DeFi strategists that are constantly watching the market, watching both charts as well as doing a lot of research into new upcoming projects, and that's giving us a lot of insights on what projects we're going to be entering into in the future.
Great, great. That was my question regarding the treasury. Okay, the second question is, since you are like, this is pretty new industry, this node as a service, the DeFi as a service and stuff like that, and it's really evolving day by the day. And you are like, let's say, one of the pioneers here, let's say, this new industry. You have your own, let's say, you are founder of the Hive, you are into the THOR, you are moderator into Ring, and I don't know what else. But what are your thoughts? What do you personally, let's say, today like about some other protocols? Let's say, what are the ideas that you like, that you see today that are moving this market? Something new that you like? I'm just interested in your some personal opinion. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I don't see a hell of a lot of innovation happening within the new nodes as a service and DeFi as a service industry right now. I see a lot of people chasing, a few of the innovations that have been brought out by pioneers. And while that's very interesting, and I'm happy to see their executional abilities, I think there's going to be a few projects that really thrive, and I think those are projects that have a very clear indication on the size and the scope of an entire ecosystem to support their token. What everybody in this industry has learned is that as nodes emissions scale and as global node counts on any project scale up, you start to see an increase in sale pressure, and that buy pressure can't increase at that same momentum forever. So I think every single node project is going to be eventually going down the node cap route. I also think every node project is going to go around the ecosystem plays, and the question is who's going to have the best ecosystem. I do think the trend right now of all these different node projects creating subnet chains is really a fundamental huge risk, and I don't know if that's the best strategical decision. Simply for the fact that in order for it, everybody's independent blockchains to be profitable, they have to have a long list of protocols that are launching on their chains and participating in that chain ecosystem, paying out gas fees. And that's a high level risk for new protocols that aren't necessarily established enough within the industry. So that's the reason you don't see us at THOR talking about a subnet chain. Is I think a far better strategy is to develop an entire ecosystem of utilities around our token, really solidify ourselves as a predominant player within the DeFi space, build up our our community. Our community is already over 50,000 people, but we want to build it up to hundreds of thousands of people, and at that point I think we'll establish enough to potentially look at a chain. But that to me is really the two different types of innovations that are happening within the market, and the question is who's going to be able to execute on those the best, and who's going to have the best strategy behind it. And I have to say I'm very confident in the strategy that we have over at THOR for our long-term viability. And I think that we're going to be one of the leaders in this industry. We're already one of the leaders in this industry, but I think we're going to be, without a question, the leader in this industry, especially because we have, you know, dedicated teams. You know, we're approaching 50 people within the Thor ecosystem, and we have dedicated teams on each one of our utility features. So we have independent developers that are developing the contracts, that are developing the game, that are developing the marketplace, that are developing the UI, and you know that wider scale of development outreach allows us to execute on things a lot quicker than potentially other projects, and also allows us to have a certain level of quality for every independent project that's being worked on that's under the Thor ecosystem.
Great, great. So yeah, I think it's actually a good thing that some protocols are developing subchains, some protocols are developing something third. So like in like 2 or 3 or 4 months, we will have some of those ideas validated, and like you said, the competition is healthy. So like we will see. Uh, the more fragmented these nodes are going, but unfortunately, like 90% are just copies and forks, like and really there are like 2 or 3 unique ideas that
To be
are
totally honest, I
yeah.
think it's really an educational spin that needs to be happening in this community. You know, the DeFi community is really overrun by degens that are, you know, chase node protocols and chase APYs, and then seem somehow pull the surprise Pikachu face when those, you know, those protocols that are offering 5% on the way of daily returns rug or fail. When you know, in reality, this is something that you know an educated user base is going to be able to see from a mile away. So that's the reason it's also very important for us to focus on the educational side, and we plan on instituting the educational side through the Union of Transparency. You know, we're kind of at a crossroads here for DeFi as a whole, not just the node space, and that is, you know, there's two independent pressures that are happening on this industry. One obviously is eroding investor trust because of all these different rug pulls and scams that are going around by these malicious actors, and the other side is from the regulatory standpoint, where I'm, you know, regulators are already looking at stablecoins and how they're regulating stablecoins, and I think they're going to be coming after the DeFi space next because that is very clearly the industry that causes the most amount of damage to investors as a whole. And from our perspective, it's very important to be on the forefront of that. And being a fundamental, you know, member of the Union of Transparency puts us in a position to actually negotiate and discuss with regulators and formulate regulations that are going to be safer to our industry. What we're doing is we're really fighting for the evolution of this entire industry because I think that's the only way that we're going to see DeFi evolve into, you know, into the size and the scope that we all know DeFi can be. You know, I think we all, everybody who really understands the integration between smart contracts and oracles understands that DeFi, without a question, is the future. And the people that argue against DeFi are effectively the same people that argued against cars in favor of horse and buggies. You know, it's just clearly to me the evolution of this industry. But you know that evolution needs to happen sooner rather than later. Otherwise, we're going to face a point of no return where investors just get burned out from chasing these super high APYs and getting rugged over and over and over again.
Yeah, like I have a index scanner in multi-chart section. I have like 10 node protocols open, and you can 10 charts, and you can see like almost exactly price pattern with all new protocols. Like when first month or two uh, is over, like the sell pressure becomes to increase, goes to the increase, and price falls, and like it's almost and all new protocols are just repeating those stuff. It's pretty crazy. Like,
Yeah, I mean, look,
yeah,
it goes down to that degen culture, and you know that degen culture is fantastic for you know the growth of an industry like this, and it's great for you know the culture behind the industry. However, you know what the malicious actors have seen in this industry is they've seen that these people you know just ape into project after project, and for them that just poses a massive opportunity to just continuously rerun the same scams over and over and over again. And I think the only way that we're going to evolve past that as an industry is through education and evolution of the culture as a whole. And that's exactly what we're trying to fight with through you know the Thor ecosystem, the Hive ecosystem, and the Union of Transparency, as well as incoming Union of Transparency protocols that all hold our core beliefs of operating ethically and operating like a proper corporation, and you know removing the wild west aspects of this industry, and that's the reason we've seen such huge success in the protocols I'm already part of, and we're going to see more success as the Union of Transparency gets debuted to the public.
great. Wish you all the luck, and I think all will be okay. Like we just need time, and with good people, with hard work, all will be okay. Don't want to take time for the other speakers. Thank you, Colin. Thank you guys for the time.
You're welcome, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Bye, man.
Let's see, bring up Thor CEO to the stage. Try to get a couple more questions in. I know we don't want to take too much time from Colin, so we'll try to make these next few quick.
Cool.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you. Go ahead, brother.
All right, so holder of the floor for a while now, and big fan of the project, into all those AMAs, and so this popped up on my Discord, and that was kind of cool. So I started listening, and then listening to Pedro. Man, hey, honestly, bro, your story that just hit me right here in the heart, bro. Like I'm from Southern California. I have lots of family in Mexico, and honestly, like I work hard every day out in the field. I'm an electrician by trade, and I've been trying to diversify my portfolio to do that, the exact same thing, bro, to help out my family. You know, I'm sorry that I get choked up a little bit, but it's just we gotta do that, man. We gotta take care of our family. We gotta take care of everybody, and if everybody just had that mentality, you know, to just take care of their fellow man and family, bro, I think we all just be in a better place, you know. And I really appreciate what you guys are doing. And I will for sure be buying a Asgardian pool. That's all I want to say.
Hey,
All
hey
right,
man,
guys.
really appreciate you coming up here and sharing that, man. It's definitely I agree with you. I think if more people had that same mentality, right, it'd be like I'm on the same page with you. We'd be in a better spot here, and that's what we're here for. You know, we're trying to make a difference in some lives and help out as much as we can, give back to the community however we can.
My brothers, you guys have a good one.
Thanks, man. You too. Thirsty, I don't know if you wanted to go with a quick question from the AMA channel.
We're getting some AMA questions coming in. Trying to cover the most common ones. So for the Asgardian Bulls, the question was, when will the voting for node projects be, and like how will the community be able to participate in future investments? And I think I can answer that. So in the short term, we'll be at a likely collab land or similar functionality to our Discord, where we can have verified holders vote for our next investment. We've chosen the initial investments as the team. We think those are the best ones to get us started. Any future investments or increasing our current position, we'll let the community decide. In the long term, we'd like to get snapshot voting. It's actually not too difficult to do technically. Their platform is pretty good. That's what THOR uses. And we kind of followed off the THOR model, like quite a few other people. We have a DeFi strategist on our team who will be help curating the options for our community that they can then vote on. So that'll be set up after Mint so that we can verify holders are the one making these decisions going forward.
Nice. Right, I know Kay voted. I know you had a question as well. You want to go ahead?
Yes, sir. Yeah, quick question for Loki. I've known the project team for a little bit now and really like the guys. Yeah, and the story resonates with me. I really appreciate where they're coming from, and got to beat them in Gartic once in a while. But Loki, just want to know how'd you become aware of the project and the team, and what kind of made you a little excited for this and just chatting with these guys?
For Asgardian Bulls?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as you can imagine, being someone who's intimately involved in this space, I'm aware of most incoming, especially NFT node projects. I get reached out all the time. And the unique thing about the Asgardian Bull guys is, they wanted to have a voice call with me, and they happily all individually doxed themselves to me. They all went on camera with me. Which was a very good indication of their ethics and their full intentions behind the project. And that's what gave me confidence enough to come in and do this AMA with you guys today. I think I think there's going to be a lot of innovation that's going to have to be done to this space in order for the Asgardian Bulls to really stick out. And I'm pretty confident that you guys understand that, and that you guys are hitting the drawing board on what kind of new innovative concepts that you can bring to this industry. And I'm more than happy to see that go. Obviously, there's no there's no question. There's clearly a brand synergy, and it's very clear that the Asgardian Bulls were inspired off of what we built over at Thor, and so as an ethical member within this community, I think it's very important for us to support other projects that have been inspired by us and have been doing things correctly.
Awesome. Cheers, brother.
For sure.
I'll grab another quick question from the AMA. So, saw a few asking about doxing and audits. So we do plan on doing KYC as soon as we can. We are trying to make sure our upfront funds go toward what's best for the community. For the audit standpoint, we probably won't be able to afford Certic at this point. We may look at one of the interims, like maybe Only Up Capital does some audits for a fair price. All of the contracts will be verified on the Snow Trace, and we'll have everything as transparent as possible so anyone with any doubts can look for themselves. And we've had, I believe Pedro's kind of doxed himself in our Meet the Team channel. If you want to go see a nice picture of him, go check it out.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't post any socials on there yet, but I will. I meant to get around to it, but with everything going on these last couple of days and trying to be ready for our AMA here, I haven't hopped back into that channel. But yeah, I know just posting a picture, right, isn't quite a full docs, right? I'm definitely aware of that, but I do plan on providing some more information. And like Loki said, the whole team docs to him. He can verify that I'm the person in that picture for sure. And yeah, thanks, man. And yeah, like Thirsty said, there's always been plans to KYC for the rest of the team that doesn't maybe doesn't want to do the public docs. But KYC has been one of the things that we'll be requiring for the core team. Upfront funds, not a team built by whales, so we were trying to make the best use for the funds that we have available, right? Make sure we provide a quality project for the entire community, but still trying to do everything that we can, possibly do up front to build that trust and make everybody aware and know that we are going to go through that KYC process. And I mean, even applying to the UOT as well, that's obviously going to require KYC by everybody, and we're going to be more than happy to go through those steps as well. So I will let one of the other members here ready to speak. I'll give Crypt Keeper another chance. I see you've been waiting on here. Hopefully your mic is good.
Hey Loki, how's it going?
Not bad. How's it going with you?
Good, good. Sorry about the mic issues. Been a long time Asgardian. I love the project. I love everything that you do. Every time you come on the mic, it's like magic. I guess I can call you Magic Mike at this point.
Hey man, I just try my best. The cool thing about being legit, transparent, and honest in this industry is that there's nothing to prep or be worried about when you're on the mic. You can just speak your mind.
Yeah, man, I love it. I love it. So you probably can't answer this, but you showing up here to AMA on an NFT project, I can't help but to think you're looking for other NFT characters to have show up in GOA. I don't know if you can speak on that, but your presence just being here and maybe in other NFT projects, I can't help but to think that I'll see some of these characters in the game.
Well, I mean, there's nothing that's been set here, but obviously, we're looking to work with all high quality projects out there. Whether or not that's going to be an element that's going to play a role in the Guardians of Asgard, sorry, the Gods of Asgard game. Jeez, I lost my own train of thought there. Whether or not that's going to have a participatory role within the PDE game or just be featured on our marketplace, we're simultaneously looking to bridge out and really connect out to other high quality projects and make sure that we have opportunities for those projects to participate in the greater Thor ecosystem.
Awesome, awesome. Another question. What would it take to get a boss character made after Larry?
I mean, that's something that we could that we can look at later on down the line, possibly with an update.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right. That's all I had. I appreciate it, Loki. Keep up the good work.
Always, brother. Always. Thank you very much.
Thanks for asking the important questions there, Quick Keeper.
Yep.
Awesome. Do we want to say one more question and then we'll call it here, guys? But it's been about an hour.
Yeah, let's bring up Leafert. Sorry if I'm butchering your name there, but
Hey guys, thank you for having this AMA. I joined about a month ago. I'm really excited about where Thor is going. I have two quick questions. Any thought about limiting how many times each node can be compounded instead of being unlimited compounding? And two, I was just wondering, how did the meeting go in New York with the P2E?
Okay, so on the compounding side, what we're doing, right, is instead of limiting out the numbers of compounding, we're limiting out the max amount of nodes, and that's going to be coming in line with the marketplace. That's what we have what's called a node cap that I'm asked, damn near every single day, multiple times a day on. That's the entire function, and so what we're doing is we're giving people opportunities to compound to their heart's delight until that node cap is being put in place. And then, of course, the protocol has the ability to then sweep the floor and then start lowering emissions over time. That's one of the main strategies behind the NFT marketplace, turning our nodes into NFTs and instituting a node cap. As for the meeting in New York, it went very well. They've already reached out and they've asked to have another call and another couple meetings with us regarding their potential participation in the GOA game. It's a little bit more circumstantial, but we brought a VR system to that meeting, and the individual, obviously we're under an NDA, so I can't go into detail on who it is. But the individual, we were expecting to play the game for about 5 minutes, and what we ended up seeing was that person playing the game for about a half hour. So that speaks to not only the enjoyment and the innovation behind the game, but their feelings behind the project as a whole, as well as with their follow up. We're feeling very confident about potentially reaching a deal with this organization.
Excellent. Again, I thank you for doing these AMAs. They're awesome.
Thank you, man. I just try my best. What can I say? I'm just me on the mic.
all right. Well, hey, it sounds like I'm gonna have to get my wife to want to play Gods of Asgard if it's gonna be that enjoyable, or she might not be too happy with the amount of time I spend on it.
Amen, amen. We're not responsible for any kind of relationship issues that stem from your new addiction to our game.
All right. Well, hey, Loki, I just want to thank you for being on here, taking the time to come and spend some time with the Asgardian Bulls here.
No
Real
worries.
quick before we finish and we kind of let you say goodbye. I know there's a lot of questions that we didn't get to in the AMA questions. For anybody that wants some answers on those, the team here will. I don't know if we'll do it right after this, but we'll definitely set a time to hop back on here and just get any questions from our Asgardian friends. If they have any questions related to our project or anything that comes up, they can drop any more questions in there, and we'll make sure to get back to them.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much for having me. Hopefully we got some of the questions, specifically for Thor side hammered out. And, I wish you guys luck on your own AMA to make sure you get, answer all those questions that you guys are getting in the, AMA chat. Highly recommend you guys do weekly AMAs. You know, that's something that you know we found a tremendous amount of success over at Thor with. And you know, making sure that your community is informed and feels respected is what's really going to speak to the viability and the success of your project.
Definitely, really appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming to the AMA. I'm gonna take off here. But I appreciate all the questions, and you know, I'll see you over in the Thor server like I'm there every day. All right. Have a great day, guys. Ciao, ciao.
See you, Colin. You have a good one.
You too.
All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll probably spend we'll give everybody 5 to 10 minutes or see how long we can stay in here. But Thirsty, if you want to go through any of the AMA questions, or if anybody wants to hop on here and ask some Asgardian Bull related questions, feel free to raise your hand. So yeah.
Yeah, so looks like there's some
Yeah,
common
let me.
questions around the legendary NFT.
Hey, let me see if I'm sorry, Thirsty. I see I am Cardano and Amazing Sound raising their hand requesting to speak. I don't know if I am Cardano, if you have a question for the team here.
Hey guys, so you guys, I posted my questions in the AMA questions, but you guys pretty much blew through 2 or 3 of them. But I had a couple remaining. The first one was being, are you guys going to try and get onto Thor's new NFT marketplace whenever it launches?
Yeah, it's definitely something we been discussing. I know we asked Loki early on, see kind of the status of the marketplace, and they're still a while out, but we do have future play to earn utilities coming and plans for that. So essentially, after we mint our Asgardian Bulls, we're going to be focusing on the future play to earn aspect of our project, and essentially with that, there's likely to be play to earn specific NFTs that we have to mint, not related to the weekly giveaways. So that's something that we'll be looking to for sure try to launch on the Thor marketplace.
Okay. Another question was, are you what is Loki / Colin's relation to the to this project, or did you guys reach out to him, or how'd that relationship come to be?
I mean, I think a lot of it just kind of initially started organically with the the synergy between the Asgardian Bulls and Thor itself. You know, just it's very obvious that we're bullish on Thor. We're making posts, so he had his eye on us for a while before we reached out to him regarding the UOT application. So that's kind of how it all started. But as of right now, it's only been discussions regarding the UOT and just we'll look to expand those discussions and see if we can manage to get some of our bulls in the Gods of Asgard.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you for your time, guys.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah,
You have a good one.
thank you. And I'll add on to that. So we did a full video, the whole team, with Loki, and we also talked about possibly being sort of their beta testers for the marketplace, which is something we're definitely interested in doing, helping them prove it out while also benefiting the bulls.
And let me bring in Amazing Sound.
Hey everyone, thanks for bringing me up here. I just had a quick question about the actual NFTs themselves. Another couple of the projects that I'm involved in, when you mint the NFTs, the artwork is yours. You can license it, you can use it for merchandise, other things like that. Is that the same kind of thought process here, or is it all private and can't be used outside of the NFT world here?
No, I mean that's kind of the whole point of the NFTs, right? You purchase it. That's essentially you own it, right? So yeah, I don't think we would have any issues. We haven't had any discussions with not allowing any of that. So
Yeah, so we haven't gone
All right.
through the legal process of that part, that side of the owning the art. So there's nothing to stop someone else from using the picture that you have for some reason, but you are able to use your NFT and its picture wherever you like.
All right. Thanks. I'm excited for Mint Day.
All right, so are we, man. Let's bring Crypt Keeper back up here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going?
Good. I just joined this Discord like an hour ago, just based off me being in Thor Discord, and I saw the link, so I decided to jump.
Sure.
Seems like a cool, pretty cool community. I do have some a Thordle NFT, um, and it's kind of different the way that I saw in your white paper. You talked about how they offer how different NFT node projects offer minting at like 3 AVAX, as opposed to how you guys are approaching it at a lower price, giving out lower nodes. I kind of like. Um, I guess my question would be, how do you determine which nodes and which tiers of nodes will be given out each week?
Yeah, and so that's definitely going to be well, I guess I'll say some of the projects that we're investing in, obviously they don't have the tiers, right? So it'll just be the node that they offer. Let's say PXT or Strong. It'll just be their 10 token node, right? For the nodes, for the projects that do have tiers, that'll be dependent on I guess I should say on the amount that we're able to get invested in there and the amount of nodes that we're able to set up, right? We don't want to promise the largest reward or the largest node, because then that impacts um, our whole philosophy of rewarding a larger percent of our community. Uh, for example, for Thor, we're gonna have an investment for Thor. We're not going to be giving out Heimdalls just because we want to reward everybody. Obviously, we know that's not really going to be uh, super beneficial for many people. Starting off though, for maybe the first few giveaways, we have discussed rewarding Freya nodes. It's not necessarily what everybody wants to hear, but with our compounding strategies and weekly compounding, increasing our treasury, we'll be able to scale those node rewards up and move up to the Thor nodes. Um, Maybe we won't be rewarding Odins, every week or so, because again, impacts our uh, our goals. But we do plan on upping those rewards for Thor, for example, into the Thor nodes.
Okay, good to know. I know you have a mint coming up in a couple days, right?
Yes, on whitelist will start on Friday and on noon Central Standard Time, and the public will launch on Saturday at the same time.
I think you guys have like 2,100 users in this Discord server right now, members, and you have about over 7,000 mints available during that first mint. Is that correct?
Yeah. So that's just the full collection of the Asgardian bulls.
So if you don't reach that mint cap, will you close the mint on a set date or keep it open?
Yeah, so we've been discussing the options as far as setting the exact date on when we'll close it. We're definitely not leaving it open indefinitely, because one of the things that we've discussed is that we obviously want to reward our early supporters and early Asgardian Bull NFT holders. So the plan is, if we get to that point where we have to close, or where we close the mint and we're not fully sold out, um, all the bulls that are minted at that point will essentially be our OG Asgardian bulls. And whenever we get to our future utility, as far as the play to earn, potential whitelist spots for future projects, the OG Asgardian bulls are going to be the ones that receive the majority of those benefits. There will still be benefits for Asgardian bulls, because the whole thing, our whole thing is, by adding these play to earn, this play to earn utility and future expansions, it's all to come back to the Asgardian bulls, but we will be rewarding the OG mentors more.
Nice. That was actually my next question. So I'm good to go. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate the questions.
Yep.
Bring up Scott C, and I'm gonna send amazing sounding Crypt Keeper back to the audience. Go
Hey
ahead,
guys,
Scott.
I hopped off and back on. Is my audio any better?
Yeah, you're good. We can hear you.
So I'll be honest. So this is the first time I've heard about this node giveaway or the NFT giveaway node giveaway NFT. I guess that's what they're called. So and Crypt Keeper's question right before mine actually answered a lot of what I was curious about. So it's not like you're giving away a token, like AVAX or Thor or some token. You're actually giving away nodes when you do your weekly giveaways.
So we say nodes, but we will be giving away the weekly rewards, right? So it'll be the token of that project. So essentially, when I say we'll be giving away Freya nodes, we'll be giving away the tokens so that the winners can create their nodes.
So you're not
Not
actually giving the nodes, you're just giving the profit from that node.
Yeah, well, I mean, not all of the current node projects that are out there have NFT nodes or ways to actually send a node. So that's kind of the way that we'll be able to cover all of our be able to reward all of our holders from our projects.
So are you trying to balance? I mean, some tokens are more valuable than others, based on market conditions. Are you trying to balance that in any way among the different, weekly giveaways, or is it just by happenstance which one you happen to get awarded?
Yeah, so we're definitely going to obviously not all of the rewards are going to be equal, right? But in order to give the fairest opportunity for all of our holders, let's say we're giving away a strong node, and that week that strong node is the most valuable. That would be the first giveaway that we would hold, right? Essentially, that way all of our NFT holders have that same chance to win the strong node. Whereas if we started with the PXT node and then we leave the strong node till the end, well, everybody else that already won isn't going to have that same opportunity of winning a strong node, right?
Gotcha. So let's say that I win, a strong node on a week. Do I get that node just for that week, or the profits of that node for that week, or do I get it
So
for indefinitely? How does that work?
so you would be receiving the for a strong node, you would be receiving the 10 tokens that week of the giveaway. So let's say we started. Let's say our first giveaway was 2 weeks from today. Just throwing a date out there, right? Let's
Right.
say the giveaway was 2 weeks from today. We pick we pick the winners. You win a strong node, you would receive the 10 strong tokens. So you can go
Okay.
ahead and create your node, and then
Yeah.
you'll be receiving.
Or I can sell those tokens on the market or do whatever I wanted to with them.
Yeah, yeah. And one interesting thing that we touched on earlier um, was somebody brought up the question of the legendary NFTs, and
Yeah.
essentially that's kind of the twist that we're adding by throwing a couple NFTs in there that will essentially guarantee you a node each week. So essentially, those will work as a way of receiving passive income from our project.
Are there any concerns with how whale activity may beneficially or non-beneficially affect this? I know with Loki and their approach, which I agree with, is whales are vital to the survival of an ecosystem because they bring in a lot of funds. Do you have
Mhm.
any issues with how whales may interact with this with your NFTs?
No, so I mean, we set we tried to set a fair as fair as we could for the amount of mints. Obviously we have our whitelist spots that guarantee you some discounted nodes or discounted NFTs, sorry. And we did set the max mint to 30 per wallet. Um, essentially,
Where you
we tried. Go ahead. I didn't hear you there.
you can create multiple wallets.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We didn't really want to have our developers spending a lot of time putting limits of like 5 per wallet into the contracts when, like you said, somebody can just go and create multiple wallets, right? So by putting the 30 limit, we're trying to make it to where a whale can, if a whale wants to buy all 30, they can go ahead, right? But by by having our prices at an affordable range of 0.8 for whitelist and 1 AVAX for public, we're also trying to give our every other investor, right, opportunity to buy in with a decent amount, and that kind of goes into our the percentages that we calculated for the chances of winning, which I think it's actually included in our white paper as well. Yeah, I'll try to add something. I was trying to add a table in there, and it wasn't the cleanest view, but essentially, even by holding, even just minting your 3 for whitelist, you're already up at 5%. Stacking up the 3 whitelist allocations that we're offering gets you up to about 14%. So I mean, it's not like you're going into these giveaways with a 0.00, 1% chance of winning, right? Um, aside on top of that, we also have the weighted mechanic, which is detailed in our white paper as well. But that's something that we're trying to do uniquely as well, to not just leave everything up to chance. Yes, doing a giveaway, there's luck involved, but we want to help those investors that can't necessarily purchase 30 or 50 or however many NFTs, right? So we're trying to help everybody out and make sure that everybody that invests into our project has a good chance of winning.
One more question and a final comment.
Yeah.
Question: are you anticipating ever having node fees?
Um,
Fees, I guess in this case.
no, like fees for holding our NFTs, no. The project, this Guardian Bull is like the project itself. We'll be paying the node fees for our investments, but no, we don't have any plans of charging to hold our NFTs.
And I guess that was a silly question in my mind. I was thinking these were nodes and not NFTs, so that's.
Oh yeah, no, 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 you're good.
And a comment on your white paper where you talk about the analytics of the odds of winning. You might want to explain what the choose function is and the notation in choose P, because I mean I've got an accurate mathematics that makes perfect sense to me, but a lay reader who reads this may not understand that notation.
I gotcha. Yeah, if you don't mind shooting me a DM, and maybe we could see if you might be able to help us with the explanations a bit there, and I'd love to have some more conversations on that with you.
Absolutely, will do. And you're Odin, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
Let's bring up One Trick Pony.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing good. Hey, so I had a question, and it may have already been answered. So if it did, then don't answer it. And I can listen to it later. But as far as the giveaways, if someone wins, is it going to be a selection of like different node projects, or is it going to be like one specific project?
So as right now, for our initial investments, we're looking at 5 different protocols. The 3 that we announced already are THOR, Strong, and PXT. The last 2 we have our head of partnerships working on some discussions there, trying to secure some partnerships with these projects. So we haven't made the full announcement, but we do expect to obviously make this announcement prior to minting, so everybody is aware. So essentially, our giveaways will consist of node rewards from our investments.
Okay, so it won't actually, will it be like an actual, someone gets an actual node, or will be like, hey, you won X amount of strong coins?
Yeah, I should really focus on the wording. The last guy had the same question. I keep saying node rewards, right? But yeah, you're right. They'll be doing they'll be receiving the tokens to create the node if they want to.
Oh, okay, cool. So you'll get because my next question was, how do you get the node if it can't trade it, but you get the coins to build it? Okay.
Yes.
And then, so for the giveaways, are you gonna have, okay, Bob just won a giveaway. Are you going to say, oh, you get Thor, or do you get a selection between Thor, Project, or Strong?
Yeah, so essentially, all the drawings are going to be through the contract, and we'll pull all the let's say 50 winners, right? And whoever the contract draws first, we're essentially going to be rewarding the nodes by starting with the highest value node to be able to give all of our investors and holders an equal chance for that, for the highest value node. Um, I kind of explained this. If I were to, if we start giving away the first 5 winners receive a PXT node, they're kind of out of the running for a strong node, right? So that's not really the fairest way to do it there. So yeah, we would start with the highest node, and essentially based on however many winners we would be able to have for the week, we would announce kind of like this, these first 3 people will win strong node. These, we'll go ahead and announce that ahead of time. That way, everybody, as soon as they see the list of winners, right, they'll kind of have an idea of who won what.
Awesome, cool. Thank you for answering. This is a super awesome project. I just found it from this initial AMA from Loki. I'm a big Thor supporter, so this is really cool. The NFTs. I've been looking for an NFT project to get into, so looks like I found one now.
Hey, I'm excited to have you here, man. And I guess stick around. We're gonna be well, you don't have to stick around in here in the voice chat on the stage, but we'll be having some whitelist giveaways for everybody that's been participating in these in the AMA and throwing out some questions. So keep an eye out for
Ooh,
any
heck yeah!
announcements.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And before we grab some, I mean, you can pull someone else, but I wanted to expand on that a little bit. So the question keeps coming up: are we giving up nodes, or are we giving up tokens? So currently, most node projects that we're investing in are not NFT nodes, but it's likely that they will shift to NFT nodes. And in that case, we've already had discussions about, we'll probably purchase NFT nodes, and we'll actually be handing out NFTs where you will receive the NFT of that node instead of just the tokens, because with the tokens, you can't make nodes anymore for those projects if they've hit their cap. So just want to let people know that we're keeping the future in mind too. Our giveaway contract is malleable, meaning that we can modify it to meet the changes in the markets and the changes in the protocols that we're invested in.
Awesome. Thanks for adding on that, Thirsty. Filecoin, if you want to go ahead and.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Do you have any plans to become a part of the Union of Transparency?
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing we were actually discussing with Colin while he was on here, and we the whole core team actually had a video chat with him a few weeks ago. Now I can't remember the exact date, but yeah, we had a chat with him to discuss the application process, make sure we're kind of we're in line, right? Once those applications open up to join the Union of Transparency.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Let's have Papa Big Mac come on in.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, so sorry, I just finally got home, so I've been listening to this since the entire time, but I haven't had a chance to come up.
Yeah, no
had a few questions, and some of them which have been already partially answered. But my first one was, as of recently, we are seeing that more and more NFT projects don't mint out, and sadly, this happens to even really good ideas. So what makes you, one, confident that this project has the ability to mint out those 7,000 NFTs? And you already talked a little bit about it, but what are the plans in place in case that doesn't happen?
Yeah, so I mean, one, we wanted to well, first, thanks for the questions, of course, and for being here for the AMA. But yeah, for as far as the question, I think one, we obviously wanted to make sure that the entry price was affordable to we didn't want to price out any potential investors here. We're well aware that the collection itself is quite large, uh, but since honestly since the beginning, since the inception of the whole Asgardian Bulls project and the first few talks with the team, even on our first Medium article that we launched, um, we were on the same page that if for whatever reason we don't mint out with this collection, we'll still continue obviously with our investments. Um, you know, we aren't really going to have that stop us from moving forward with our next plans. So let's say we close, we sell half of the collection. Well, like I mentioned earlier, the all the holders of the Guardian Bulls that that are holding half of that collection, there are going to be OG as Guardian Bulls. They are going to have additional benefits as we move forward with our play to earn. Um, Additional utilities that we introduce in the future, potential whitelist spots to new upcoming projects. You know, we have basically a list, and still discussing even ways to add more utility and more benefits to the OGS Guardian Bull. So, I mean, personally, I not to be biased, but yeah, I mean, getting in early is probably the best way to get the most out of the Asgardian Bulls project overall.
Yeah, definitely. And I do like the fact that you are trying to make early investors, entice early investors as much as possible. Um,
Hmm.
and my next question had to do with the legendary NFTs. You had mentioned that they're going to be sprinkled sort of in the pool of NFTs. So what would
Hmm.
happen if, say, we reach 4,000 NFTs, but not all legendary NFTs are minted? Would those be added, say, when the second part of the NFT pool releases, or are you going to make it in a way that those legendary NFTs get minted in the first batch?
No, so we
I
definitely
can.
wouldn't include. Yeah, go ahead, Thirsty. I know
Uh,
it's more contracts.
um, so the initial minting and whitelist, public and whitelist minting will be equal odds to mint one of the legendary NFTs, but we do have a mechanism in place to essentially manually mint or airdrop, however you want to look at it, the legendary NFTs. In case we get into that scenario. We have no plans of doing that because we're obviously optimistic about minting out. But we don't want to get those lost in the collection and no one can benefit from them. So there are a safety gap in place in case that does happen.
Yeah. So one thing I'll add to that is, we obviously wouldn't want to make essentially secure that they're all minted in the first half, or in the first few, um, because we don't want to we don't want to we're introducing a handful of these, and spreading them out because we don't want to affect the overall odds and the overall uh, goals, right, for the project, and rewarding as much of the community as possible. If we you know for whatever reason we can only reward 30 winners, we don't want to have 5 every week winning, taking away a spot from somebody else. um, we we don't see ourselves only rewarding 30, and based off of our numbers, we have very high hopes that we're actually going to have some of the largest amount of winners compared to all the other NFT or node giveaway NFT projects out there. Um, so we don't really see it as an issue, but we made sure that these legendary goals that we're including aren't really going to affect the overall vision and the overall goal of the project, right?
Okay, cool. And just a follow up question on what you guys just added to that. What I have seen in a lot of these NFT projects that mint these special rarity NFTs is that there have been people who can manipulate the contract in order to guarantee themselves minting one of these legendary NFTs. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but what kind of mechanisms are put in place to ensure that someone can't manipulate the or the contract to ensure that they only mint those legendary NFTs?
I'll let Thirsty answer this one. That's contract questions.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Avalanche, there isn't a great way to introduce verifiable randomness because Chainlink VRF doesn't exist on Avalanche. So we're handicapped by some of the entropy we can introduce for on-chain randomness, which, like as you said, can be abused by a node validator. That's something we're thinking about. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible. We There's kind of two approaches we can take it. We can keep it with the randomness approach, and I, it's unlikely that someone will try to abuse that system. And they would also need to know beforehand which token ID to mint and how to appropriately do that, which is not in itself uncomplicated. Um, if after further discussion and getting community feedback, we feel that it's is still too risky, we can essentially hold back those legendary NFTs and find a more secure way to still randomly give them to people. Um, I think with all of the random giveaways, that is a concern. Just how do you introduce verifiable randomness on chain? And it's something we're trying to address.
Okay, thank you. Another question I had was regarding the weighted giveaway mechanism and how it adds a drop rate multiple of 10% for those NFTs that don't win that week. The question was, is this going to be additive or compounding? Meaning, does it go like from 1 to 1.1 to 1.2, 1.3 every week? Or does the 10% get compounded each time you don't win?
Thirsty, can you expand on that one, please?
Yeah, so it's not that the people who don't win exactly get a 10% increase. It's that the people who have already won are less likely to win again in the future. We didn't want to totally take their ability to win away, which is a possibility, but it's not something we've even talked about introducing because we want still there to be some chance for someone to win again, even if they have, because otherwise they're just going to dump their NFT and it's useless now.
Yeah.
So those that have won have less of a likely chance of winning again. And once you've won once, your chance of winning again is reduced by 10%, which intrinsically increases the chance of everyone else who hasn't won. Does that?
And essentially, yeah, I was just gonna add. Honestly, we also didn't want to make that that percentage difference a huge amount because, like Thirsty was saying, we don't want to basically eliminate the possibility or the chance of people winning again. Um, the idea behind this was essentially just uh, adding a little bit more than just pure luck, like I mentioned earlier, to be able to reward a larger percentage of the community, right? But at the same time, we're not trying to punish our members for winning, you know?
And to answer your specific question about does it compound, so if it's 10% and then 20%, so it will decay over time such that it's never 0%. And we also have a mechanism in place to do a reset to everyone to have equal odds that we're still determining what the best periodic basis that would be on. But we think of a reset to everyone at the same playing field, even if you have one at some period in time after the initial giveaway, it would be best for the community.
Yeah, we're still discussing that number. As of right now, we've been throwing around 4 to 6 months. But we're really going to be using all the data that we get from these first few giveaways, maybe the first month of giveaways, to really determine what the best number there would be.
Yeah, definitely. And looking towards the initial investments, I don't remember exactly where I read this, but looking at the percentages for those initial investments, from what I remember, Thor had a bigger percentage a while ago. So can you tell me about the partnership agreement with Project X and how this might have influenced the decision to go from the higher percentage investment in Thor to just a 17.5%?
Yeah, I can talk on that one. I think I read the question somewhere, and I don't know if it was, I don't know who posted it or if it was you, but uh, somebody mentioned that we initially had a 60% for Thor, which actually was incorrect. We initially were talking about a 40% investment to Thor, which
That was me. I must have flipped the
yeah.
1640.
Yeah, the 60 was going to be split up into three into three projects. Now we're looking at five, right? So we obviously had to adjust our percentages there, but we're not necessarily the percentages weren't affected by the PXT partnership. It was more discussions on, you know, how we wanted to be different and how we actually wanted to achieve our goal of rewarding more investors, right? Um, the one of the best approaches there was, you know, kind of increasing the percentage of one of the lower price nodes, you know, as a way of putting this. Um, still obviously a great team, valuable node, but those PXT nodes allow us to reach a larger amount of our community, right? And um, another reason for decreasing that percentage in Thor was, you know, us kind of taking advantage of the price action and that it's been going through. We obviously believe it's going to, you know, they're definitely going to deliver with these with the play to earn utility in the marketplace, and we're excited to see how that affects the price for Thor. But we're essentially taking advantage of the you know, cheaper prices in Thor right now, um, where we can decrease our initial investment percentage, but we're still able to kind of reach those node goals that we had, right? So kind of not necessarily that we decreased it because of PXT. It's just more trying to be more strategic with our initial investments.
Yeah, and to add on to that, it's not that that's all we're ever going to invest in these protocols. That's just the initial investment. We could have increase our position with more investment based on what the community wants to do in the future.
Nice. And so you brought up my next point was, so in the initial investment allocations of the white paper, I see Project X, Strong Block, and Thor Financial, and then I see 4 and 5 as to be announced. And it says that it's going to be announced through the community. Will this be through a community vote as of everyone who's in Discord, or will this be after the mint and be weighted through how many NFTs a person holds?
So for the fourth and fifth investments, we actually do have an idea of which which projects we're investing in. Brandon, which is our head of partnerships, is actually working on landing some partnerships with a couple other protocols as well, which is why we don't want to make an announcement yet. But we'll definitely have these announced prior to minting, right? Like I said earlier, we want everybody to be aware of what they're actually investing in by buying the Asgardian Bulls NFTs. But the future investments that we do have, that's what, you know, in, you know, once we have our initial investments, the future investments moving forward, that's where we will have the community votes. Um, I think Thirsty mentioned the collab land would be the way, or one of the ways that we would be able to ensure that the input that we're receiving from the community is from our actual NFT holders.
Oh, so okay, if I'm understanding it correctly, then those fourth and fifth initial investment allocations are something that you guys are already looking at, but the ones that will
Yes.
actually be able to vote would be the future investments once we actually hold those NFTs.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and one final question. I know hopefully
Mhm.
I'm not taking too much time, but
Oh, no,
in
you're
terms
good, man.
of the P2 earn or the play to earn game, will our NFTs act as our entry to the game, or as a ticket to purchase the NFT/token needed to play that future game?
Yeah, so that's one thing we're discussing. I don't want to give obviously too much on that because I don't want to promise something right now, and then, you know, after minting, the team's full focus is going to shift over to the play to earn. So I don't want to really make a promise here and then, you know, in 2 weeks or three have to kind of shift and go back. But holding the Asgardian Bulls is going to guarantee you an entry into our play to earn. I can't say that it'll be the actual Asgardian Bull NFT that will be used, but maybe it'll be a version of your bull or of an Asgardian bull NFT in that project. But don't want to go into too many details. But yes, holding, what I can guarantee that holding an Asgardian bull will get you into the play to earn utility.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for answering all my questions. Super excited.
Yeah. Thank you, man. And we'll try to get a couple more here. I'm actually running low on time, but we'll try to get through these last few if we can. Go ahead, Sava.
Hiya, I'm from the THOR project. So my first question is there talks about exclusive using THOR's potential future marketplace to sell sell the NFTs there only, or
Yeah. So
using?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go on, go on.
I was gonna say that's definitely things that we've been discussing with even when we had our initial conversation with Loki. Um, of course, for our launch we have to launch. We can't really wait for that marketplace, but
No, of course,
we would like to list our Asgardian bulls to be able to be on that as on the Thor marketplace as a secondary market at one point.
awesome.
But I did touch on 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 one thing earlier with the play to earn utility. Obviously, a lot of times there's additional play to earn specific NFTs that are required. So those are the collections that we would look to have a launch on the Thor marketplace as well.
Awesome. Just one more question as well as the giveaways and stuff. Will you be looking possibly in the future to be doing further incentives with regards to, say, using Thor for example, to be a booster to somebody's node, so a partnership in that sense to give more purpose to the NFTs that we're holding, apart from just being a part of a prize draw.
Hey man, that's definitely something we would love to do. Whenever we're talking
Awesome.
about some of these, we would love to, right? But unfortunately, it's not necessarily up to us to
No, of
to
course. No, no, I
make
got that.
that
Yeah,
promise. But hey,
it's something.
with us making these partnerships, maybe that's something we can discuss with our partners, and we'll see. We'll have conversations on that for sure, though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So Thor, I think they've got something with OG, so kick them out and bring you guys in. Might work,
Yeah,
if I'm being honest. I think your NFTs are better than those ones anyway, so that's
I
all good.
appreciate it, man.
No, awesome, guys. Thanks anyway for the invite. Okay, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
one. Let's get Gabor, and I'll bring Keith on. Oh, sorry, I'll bring Keith on here and Marius, just so you guys can be on here, and let's have Gabor go first. See if he can get his question.
Can you hear me? Hi.
Yes.
Oh, hi. Thank you for having me on stage. I have a question in regards to the marketing. So, what kind of marketing are you doing to promote this project?
So we've been talking with several, people on Twitter and other projects as well, right? Like I mentioned earlier, we have a Brandon who's trying to work on these partnerships with different protocols. Um, so I mean, yeah, what one thing that we're planning on doing is hosting more AMAs like these, like the one today. Even after we met, right? It's we're definitely not opposed to having more AMAs to push our project more and get the Asgardian Bulls Club name out there more.
Okay, and have you reached out some YouTube influencers, maybe?
Yeah, we've talked with a few. We have talked with a couple, so that's one thing that's on the table.
Because usually I'm looking many YouTube videos and I'm getting all the news and new projects over
Yeah,
YouTube, so it's a really good way to do that, I guess.
yeah, definitely. If honestly, if you have any suggestions on maybe people you follow that are big, feel free to drop them in in the ideas and suggestions channel, and we'll definitely try to reach out.
Okay, where can I drop this message if I want to? I have some suggestions actually.
Yeah, I don't know if Thirsty or Brandon, one of you guys, can y'all tag him in the ideas and suggestion? I'll see if I can get over there. But yeah, honestly, just drop a message in any of our chats, so we can point you in the right direction, man.
I'll see if I can tag him. I got this.
I think Thirsty got it.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I put him in there.
Okay, my mic works now. Perfect.
Nice. Welcome back.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half too late.
That's all right, man.
Yeah.
Gabor, I don't know if you had any other questions.
Actually, one more. So if I buy any NFTs from you, can I sell the NFTs later on, or is it just I buy it and I'm having it and that's it?
Yeah, no, it'll be like any other NFT project. Will be listed on some secondary marketplaces as well. So yeah, if there's ever any need to sell, yeah, you'll be available to sell. We definitely plan on having enough utility that you will not want to sell it. So.
No, that's great. Okay, that's everything. Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you very much for being here and for the questions.
Okay. Cheers, bye-bye.
We'll go with. Thank you. Bye bye. We'll go with Keith for the next one.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. So I had a question on the weighted mechanism for winners being, was it 10% less? The
Yeah.
question was, is there a mechanism in place so if someone just goes and puts it on an NFT marketplace, there'd be a trait saying this one, like a trait saying one recently, so people would know there's less chance of that one to win, or no?
We discussed trying to have that. I think Thirsty can expand on some of the issues there, but I will say before he gets into the technical things, one thing we will have on our actual website is a list of previous winners from every week. So it's a little tedious to kind of go through, but it does have an option there for members to go and view, maybe an NFT that they're interested in and go take a quick look, right? See if it's won in the recent weeks. And of course, like we mentioned, we're also going to have that reset mechanic to make sure all of the NFTs go back to 100% essentially. But Thirsty, I don't know if you want to expand real quick on some of the.
Yeah, so to do that, so the secondary marketplaces only show on-chain data, which is the metadata that's on for the token URI of your NFT, and those are usually hosted in IPFS, which itself is immutable for reasons that you don't want your image to change just because we feel like it. The problem with that is that we would have to change all of that metadata that is held off chain, which would be for every single bull, and we would need to update that metadata as winners happen. And that's not impossible. And you can see it with some node projects that have a rather limited set of NFTs where they have like the amount of tokens that are input into this node. And I don't want to say we're definitely not going to do something like that. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to make it the most apparent that this bull has won before on a secondary market. Unfortunately, we're restricted by the ERC 721 standards, which are the NFTs that we will be minting.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. I can even go into more details about how it's possible, but I think I'll bore everyone.
No, I probably have like 6 minutes left, so let's try to. I'll bring or Marius, if you want to go ahead with your question, I'm gonna bring up Marius. All right, I'm gonna bring up Briggs Daddy and Aries.
Don't worry, I'll be really quick. My question was just answered. It was regarding the secondary marketplace and the possibility of knowing if the NFT has already won. Had a few other questions that were answered before, so thank you very much for the MA. I didn't want to get down from the stage without saying thank you.
Hey, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You have a good one. Go ahead, Briggs Daddy.
Oh, hey. Thanks for having me here.
I just had a question. I was looking at the sneak peek, the artwork of the bulls, and I thought that was really cool and kind of similar to like the Lazy Lions. I was wondering who, and I'm not sure if it's in the white paper, not who the artist is or how you came about with the design.
Yeah, we have a we don't have the artist currently on the white paper, but it is something that we can add on there. But I mean, we had some back and forth with the design. I don't know if I've seen the Lazy Lions, honestly. I'll have to go check them out. But yeah, I mean, we just
Yeah.
it was basically some back and forth. Or actually, I should say Ricardo found a few bulls online to send to the artist as some references, and he essentially took some traits from multiple bulls to create our NFT.
Yep. I think it's cool. You can tell each one can have like some unique characteristics, obviously. And so, anyways, I just wanted to say great job and thanks for spending so much time today explaining all this.
And I appreciate it, man. That's like I said, or I didn't say today, but I've said it before. We wanted to create a project that had some good utility, and obviously the focus is the utility and benefit to the community. But we wanted to make sure everybody enjoyed having a bull, and minting something that
Absolutely.
that they'd love to have as a profile picture, right? So,
Absolutely, yeah, very cool. Thanks again.
hey, thank you. Have a good one.
Okay.
I also just want to
And
add that we've had some community submissions some that we've liked quite a lot, that we've integrated a bit of their ideas into the
that is
layering.
true. Yeah, that's very true. I apologize for missing that. There was a few. We had a custom bowl competition, and we had some amazing submissions. We have some great artists in here as well. So I'll even throw out that if y'all go in and check the custom bowl competition, Bidlow on there with the Darth Maul, he actually helped out with some of our more recent um, traits and NFTs that we released for in fact the legendary NFT that we have on as a showcase that was actually by one of our community members, so giving some credit there. But yeah, Eris, I don't know if you want to go ahead with your question.
Hi, yes, thanks. Yeah, first of all, thanks a lot for all the information you have been giving. And I'm also one of the new joiners on the server, so I might not have read all the information available yet. So my question would basically be, are you planning, besides the giveaways for the NFT holders, any, like, let's say, additional utility for the holders?
Yeah, we definitely have a quite a bit of plans. Obviously right now the majority of the conversations are going to revolve around the giveaways, making sure that everything is, all the details are ironed out, and that we're able to have these giveaways running smoothly. But in our in our white paper, it's not the most detailed, so I'll go into a little bit more here. Um, one, one small benefit would be that we want to have some merch and offer our Asgardian bull holders a free item. That's a very small benefit, but something we wanted to throw in there. Uh, One of the major things, or some of the larger benefits, are going to be the play to earn utility. Giving some access there. Uh, I've mentioned some potential whitelist spots to early projects. If we're able to get into some partnerships with other projects, bring on projects here for AMAs. Offer some whitelists to our Asgardian bull holders there. But one of the actual benefits that I kind of want to touch on a bit more, that I feel is pretty important, is we want to have kind of educational content for all the Asgardian bull holders. I know there's a lot of, obviously there's a lot of people here that are familiar with nodes, because we're a lot of people here from THOR. But I fully expect that we'll have some people that find the artwork, they come in here, they have no idea what nodes are, they don't have as much exposure to DeFi, or maybe we have investors that recommend our project to their family, and the opportunity from nodes. So they're completely new to crypto. So we want to have some educational content, whether it's like Crypto 101, some educational seminars, DeFi, what to look out for, and with new projects to avoid rugs and scams, and even just regular, the the old regular boring financial, investing in stocks or retirement and all of that stuff. But just something to have our community more educated and more financially educated, and help everybody here avoid the potential scams that we're in, that are in crypto and DeFi, right? We want to have exposure to good legitimate projects here, and we want all of our community here to be safe and educated. So
Yeah, that's cool. Always like utility. So yeah, that was basically my question. So thanks a lot for the information.
Hey, no problem. Really appreciate the question, and thanks for being here.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I'm not sure if there's any other. Let me see. Let's bring Cove in here just a final question, and then I'm gonna have to call it because my wife is waiting for me to go eat.
Can we
Go
have more
ahead, Cove.
Gartic games?
Hey, yeah, of course, man. You can actually.
That's all. Not a serious question.
Yeah, we'll definitely have more Gartic games. All the new people here. Make sure you check the verification channel, and check out the special roles there for Gartic quizzes. And we try to regularly hold games to reward some whitelists in that way as well. So maybe Cove can go and start a Gartic game, and I'll give out some whitelists there as well. But yeah, I don't know if any of you guys on the team, if you guys want to have any final comments.
Just thanks everyone for coming. And if you have any more questions that we didn't ask, or if you have any suggestions, feel free to ask those in the respective channels in Discord. And we'll probably be having more of these AMAs in the future. And we'll also get to those questions. Anything that was left unanswered or you didn't want to step up and ask today.
Yeah, we'll definitely make sure to have more AMAs, and maybe hop in here before our minting day, just for any final questions or concerns with the community, so we can get everything answered. And yeah, huge thanks to everybody here, and I guess we'll go ahead and finish the AMA here. Feel free to stick around in the channels. Keep an eye out for the giveaways. I'll probably start a giveaway here in a couple minutes for everybody in here for some whitelist spots. So thanks again, and y'all have a great day, great week.
Yeah.
Thanks,
And if all
guys.
things work correctly, this was recorded, so we'll be posting that once we get it uploaded.
Yes. Thank you, guys. You have a great one.
Cool. Thanks, everyone.